If John had done his research properly, we would know this.
They don't even tell me which of the barrels.
He
They
could've-
just say the only thing they've got is it's 5 different barrel-aged barley wines and 3 different barrel-aged stouts.
What are you, Amish? We have phones.
I did.
We have phones.
That's
and
the information from the brewery, Russ.
No, you didn't call them. You could
I
have
did
called
not
them.
call them. You're
You
right.
could have called them and said, "This is Big John. Beer to whiskey. I need to
Something
know.
I need to know.
I have something I need to know. We're on the air
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
Get Ed on the phone.
Get Ed or Bruce, Bill, Patrick, whoever calls the shots there, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this. But that's okay. From the Beer to Whiskey Studios on the taproom floor of Greenville Beer Exchange, or GBX as the cool kids call it. Not us, but the cool kids. Well, we sometimes call it that. On Lawrence Street in glorious, fantastic, downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John and Five. Aptly named because my good buddy here, Big John Richards, picks a beer from one of GBX's 22 or so taps, or there are hundreds of cans of bottles in the retail section up front. We sniff, we sip, we kibitz, we learn a little bit about the brewery and sometimes a little bit about brewing. And with that, and we drink beer. I almost left that part out. And
Leave that part out.
and having said that, let me also mention that these guys are open, so there's a little bit of racket. And when you
From
hear
time to time,
when you hear the doorbell ring, it means
an angel gets its beer.
or a drunk gets a something. I don't know what it means, but it means somebody's coming in. Anyway, Big John. What do we got?
We are drinking, Russ, one of the best beers I've had in a year or more. One of my favorite things I think Westbrook has ever done.
High praise indeed.
And that's high praise as well, because Westbrook has made some really spectacular beers. This is their Winter Blend 2023. I don't remember that they've ever done something called Winter Blend before. But having put 2023 on the label, it makes me think that they're going to do it again. And I hope they do. This is a blend of 5 different barrel-aged barley wines and 3 different barrel-aged stouts. And it's 12% alcohol.
So it was like just whatever they had left over, they poured in a barrel and
Maybe. There's 2 ways that went. It went, we have this left over a little bit, we're going to put it in a barrel. This left over, we're going to put it in the same barrel. That left over, we're going to put it in the same barrel.
I think that's what I just said.
And then, or they actually went into their cellar and went,
Let's create a barrel.
We want this, we want a little of that, we want a little of this, we want a little of that. Like at a soda fountain.
Could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way. I don't really know which way it went.
If John had done his research properly, we would know this.
They don't even tell me which of the barrels.
He
They
could've-
just say the only thing they've got is it's 5 different barrel-aged barley wines and 3 different barrel-aged stouts.
What are you, Amish? We have phones.
I did.
We have phones.
That's
and
the information from the brewery, Russ.
No, you didn't call them. You could
I
have
did
called
not
them.
call them. You're
You
right.
could have called them and said, "This is Big John. Beer to whiskey. I need to
Something
know.
I need to know.
I have something I need to know. We're on the air
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
Get Ed on the phone.
Get Ed or Bruce, Bill, Patrick, whoever calls the shots there. And let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this. But that's okay.
Right. I did not.
You still have a
I did
place
not-
on the dais.
Yes, thank you.
Here.
I did not exercise my powers of
Using the telephone.
coercion. Say hi to buddy.
Buddy. Opening beers in my family for 70 years.
Except for this one. Oh, it's because I'm doing it wrong.
since about 19, actually probably more than that. It's probably since about 1949. It's been opening beer bottles in my family. No, do mine first.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I do this literally every time.
He's in the service industry. You would think he would know this.
They don't teach us things like that. They teach us take from the left and serve from the right. Some such nonsense. That's why I never made it in fine dining. I had this conversation happened at Iron Hill when I worked at Iron Hill Brewery.
That's a regional
Regional brew pub
pub.
chain.
Yes.
So one of the guys I worked with, it was the end of the night. I bartended that night, and there was me, a server, and a manager left in the building. Everything else was done. The lights were all up. We were just finishing up. And somehow it came up that I was in the Marine Corps. And the server... Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rose. He was a friend of mine, you know, in-restaurant friend of mine, whatever. Name of Jeff. And he goes, "Hey, John, you were in the Marines?" I started laughing, and he goes, "No, I don't mean anything by that." He goes, you don't seem like the rules following type." I went,
Ergo, he wasn't there long.
I went, "Well, Jeff, it turns out I'm not."
Honorably discharged.
Oh yeah, I made my 6. I did my time.
But yeah.
Turns out I'm not the rules following type.
Yes. Big shit-eating grin on when he walked out of the gates with his duffel over his shoulder.
Shall we?
Yeah. Have we? Where are we at?
We talked about how it's 5 different, 6, 7, 8 different
That's
beers.
right.
All put together. That Westbrook did it.
Texas Miss Lily.
Kaboom. It's late in the day for us. Sun's getting low on the Beer to Whiskey podcast.
This is like number 9, and there have been several that have been big boys today.
This beer is so good, Russ. The nose is so big on that. There's so much booze on that nose, and so many things going on there. Oh, man, it smells like barrels, and it smells like toffee, and it smells like caramel, and it smells like grapes and figs. Oh man, that is so big. It's just the nose is a monster on that. And we have discovered that I like things that taste a lot. So bear that in mind. Beer's freaking spectacular, man. That beer is so good.
It is delicious. What's the ABV in this?
12%. It's up there.
It's up there.
Not absurd, but it's up there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know it. I'm in sipping this. I
No,
would
there's
not
no
think
heat
that.
from the booze at all.
There's
But
not really any big booze flavor, I don't think.
So the fermentation flavors are those big like figs and raisins and those dark fruit fermentation flavors. Those are pretty evident in there, which is typical of a big higher alcohol beer. And that's the barley wine, and that's the barrel, and that's some of the age that's on probably everything that went into this thing. And there's a year on this now because it's 2023 winter blend, and we're approaching the end of 2024. So, there's some age on this, but man, it's a balance. It's smooth. You get those big dark fruit flavors up front, and a little molassesy, vanilla-y back end on the sweetness, and the spice on the end, and maybe a little peppery bite from the alcohol.
I'm getting the what you call it, the red fruit, big fruit,
Dark fruit. Blue fruit.
Boy, it is. I've been
It's
doing
Dr.
this.
Seuss.
This has been going, yeah. Blue and never mind. I'm getting that fruit, but it's not. Usually, I get it and I go, "Oh wow, this is exactly what this is," and it's figs and a bunch of stuff that I really don't care for that much as a fruit. But they still sort of coalesce together, and I don't hate it, but I know it's there. I don't even get that out of this. I know it's going on,
Right.
but I'm not offended at all by it. It is so smooth. I guess smooth is the deal. It's balanced. It's smooth
silk.
and balanced, and so it isn't hitting me over the head that this is red
Yeah.
fruit, blue fruit. What is it? Big fruit,
Big fruit, red fruit, dark fruit,
dark
blue
fruit,
fruit.
dark fruit. Write dark fruit down, would you? Write dark fruit down there.
Have that removed.
Yeah, dark fruit. Because I know what that means and what it signifies.
But it's like a medley in here. There's not.
Yes.
It's not like figs.
Yes.
It's like now it's figs and now it's raisins. Now it's figs again.
It's nothing. It's all
Yeah.
blended together.
Yeah.
It coalesces. It has, and over the year or so that it's been in the bottle, it has resolved itself into this. Help me out here because I'm running out of steam.
This is a beer that you could legitimately continue to age.
Oh,
and
sure.
it would
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it would age really gracefully over, I mean, 8 or 10 years probably.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
this probably already aged, came to us in a way, and then you could sit on this longer and create, and it would just turn into something new every time you popped one. At 750, you're not going to pop one necessarily for yourself, but put one in the cellar and open it with friends, and it's going to be magic. This beer is so good. Westbrook has done so much good work, and I don't know, they're probably pushing 20 years old now because they opened Charleston, Mount Pleasant, and they opened while I was still working at Barley's. And I think I left Barley's in 2010. So it's been at least that long. And they have really turned into a good brewery down there. They've done some, just in the last couple of years, maybe just in the last year, they've done some things like they've got this beer to drink when it's cold outside. And then they did a variation of it called like beer to drink if you like coffee. And they've got this little series of things. They got a beer out called A Very Fine Lager. And it is freaking great.
A very fine lager.
It's a very fine lager. And they still got regular Westbrook IPA. They still got One Claw. They still got White Tie. And those beers have matured into very good beers, really quality core beers.
Yeah,
And then they throw these things on the market. I'm
Yeah.
like, good job, Westbrook.
Yeah. They have come into their own,
Yes.
as they say.
Agreed.
So I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
They're one of our OGs. They're one of the, still early South Carolina brewing scene. Westbrook was one of the first. So we're lucky to have them.
Yeah, I'll go super. I shouldn't, but.
Shall we?
We shall. So damn lucky. Wait. So
Close
damn.
enough? No,
So
we
damn
got it.
lucky. See you next time.
We don't have to hit this table at the same time every time. We just have to do it
we have to-
when the time is right.